Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. Alright guys, I'll give you the debriefing from Kentucky. First of all guys, when I got there my back was hurting bad. When I left there, oh man was it intense. I was running around that place like a 16-year-old kid, and I'm just too old for that. Okay, nothing got tore up, but that didn't fly either. Them actuators were junk. They work great here. Get to Kentucky, one of them don't work. Goes a little bit, stops. Goes a little bit, stops. I can't believe it, man. They work so good here, both of them. So all that was a waste. Waste of time. I'll tell you what I should have did was just patched up that old paint job and got them gear working. I mean, what good's that pretty old paint job if the dang thing won't roll down the runway? But everything else is alright. I've just been in misery since I got home. My dang truck blew a head gasket down there, you know, and didn't have the cash to put it in the shop. That would have been expensive. Motels waiting for it and everything else. But we made it. I got for you guys. I took a bunch of videos, but I can't even bring myself to loading them. I hurt so bad. I got a bunch of stuff to do around here. I got some yard work I got to do that I've been blowing off. I did fix my nose gear though. I think it's fixed. I don't know. The guy next to me had an F-16 just like this, and unfortunately it crashed. His screws in his elevators came loose that would hold them on, not the internal mechanism, but the actual screws that clamp them on, because he didn't ever take his stabs off. So them bolts never got checked. I take my stabs off when I travel on everything. I don't like them sitting there beating around, you know. And so I take mine off. But anyway, he didn't have no trouble out of his nose gear. Okay. But what he did, see, this is kind of a two-stage setup. That part's real soft, and then you get to there and it's really hard. There's like a two-stage spring setup in there, and the first stage had too much tension on it. So he actually gave me his gear. After the next day after I crashed it, the gear was sitting there. He goes, "There, Bob, you want these gear?" I said, "Man, I don't want to be the one scavenging through your airplane for parts." He said, "No, man, go ahead and take it." But with a lot of tension on that spring, see, this has got to go right into that groove fitting. That's the steering mechanism, and it's got to slide right in there. Well, when this thing's turning, when it's coming down, it's turning, and then that last little bit needs to be by that spring. And if this is too hard, turns too hard, and I think that's what my issue was. But so I shortened that spring, and now it has no air in it at all now. Now it'll go all the way down and lock with no air in it. Seeing with it, then that air cylinder locks this down and keeps it from collapsing. But I actually got a lot of spare parts out of that landing gear. Even the mains, and their mains are actually all good. It hit hard, guys. This thing went straight in at full bore. Didn't catch fire. So was able to salvage a lot of parts, but all these are fine. It's just this back plate that's bent. All this is fine. I think I got 2 new V-Nox, air cylinders, got parts down here. All this is still good. There's nothing wrong with none of this. I thought that was awful nice of him. We gave him the wheels and tires, but actually it bent both the axles. Two axles are bent and broke this tire. That thing crashed so hard. It hit hard, man. You should have seen it. That plane exploded. And there's the nose gear deal, but this air cylinder's still good. The servo's trashed, but that air cylinder's still good. See, there's that groove. That deal's got to come in. It comes in and hits these sides, and it finishes turning there. And if it's too hard to steer, it won't turn enough to go into that slot really easy. See, so I hope it works. I hope it works. But I think Ollie wants to sell the Thunder Chief, guys, so if anyone knows anyone that wants a Thunder Chief, we'll hook them up with a good deal. I got the cockpit in it and everything. Wish I had the cash to just buy it back and fix them gear. Oh, I was talking to Marvin F-14 there in Kentucky, and his dad makes electric actuators. He made for a couple guys that fly some big Top Gun airplanes. And I guess they work pretty dang good, pretty powerful. But so his dad took some measurements, and his dad's making a set. But give me a holler, Marvin. If you're watching this video, give me a holler. I got a couple things I want to ask you about. He said since the nose gear ain't gonna be set up on that, I can't use that for the gear doors. But can you just make that actuator for the mains and only make it a 2 gear deal, and then we can put our servo sequencer on the nose? I don't really guess it matters. I don't know, but I got some yard work to do, guys, and a couple things I need to do around this house. Need to get on some parts for Joe. I need to get that little Mustang. I'm gonna get on Chris's Mustang, get that thing built, and just kind of cruise. I want to get on a V1, but I don't know. I wish I just had the cash to buy that thing back. I almost think about selling the Tomcat to do it. You know, because old Marvin makes me some bad old actuators. That's going to be a bad old jet. Oh, I tell you, but we waited, CG didn't wait it. Me and Calvin did right before we left, and with that big old turbine in there, it's down to 45 pounds. But all he took his turbine and radio stuff home with him. But with my P200 in it, that thing would be closer to 40. Because we wouldn't have to add so much nose weight either. It had some nose weight in it. You know, and 40 pounds, man, that's... You know, the fuel, then we're up to 55, but then we got 52 pounds of thrust. I think that thing would fly really good if we got the dang gear up. Nose gear's fixed. Nose gear works good on that setup. If I'd have took, you know, if I'd have took them air cylinders with me, I could have swapped them things out and had that system, because it's got air tanks in it already. I just had to splice off them lines and screw a couple valves in it right where I had them in the back there, you know, and it's just them air cylinders are just the same thing as them actuators. Just unbolt one, bolt the other one back in. So about 45. If I'd have took them dang air cylinders, I could have had that thing going in like 45 minutes. Just ran out of time. Rivets took so long. You know.